If you want to have sex with your partner and your partner is not interested, life coach and author Chandra Alexander is here to tell us why nothing will ever change if you continue to make excuses for your spouse and live in a sexless marriage. This is TRASHionalization. He's different than other men. He doesn't care about sex. You don't believe that for a second, do you, Chandra?
No, I don't.
All right. This is a TRASHionalization. This is a lie that we tell ourselves.
And it's not just in marriage. It's in any relationship that you have. You know, if this is something that's part of your life and this is not fulfilled in you and it's something you're always thinking about and something you're always yearning for, you need to address it and stop making excuses for it. I mean, he is a guy.
Right. All men, if they are healthy, do care about sex, according to Chandra.
I think there is a basic difference between men and women. It's not that I don't think that women care about sex, because I think that they do, but I think that a man, if he's a man genetically, men are sort of propelled by sex. It's how the human race has been propagated over the years.
That's true.
And men have a desire to have sex, and when a man is not interested in sex, I think that there's a problem.
For men, sex equals intimacy, not long conversations into the night.
Right. For women, lots of times they say, you know what, if he just talks to me and touches me and just kind of kisses me and says nice things, that's not going to do it for a man.
Is that too much to ask for every now and then, though? Just a little snuggle that won't lead to sex? Is that so bad?
I think that there needs to be both.
Right.
I think that what happens is you need to celebrate the difference between a man and a woman. And I think that when a person is really balanced, I think you like both things. I think as a woman, you like sex, and I think that you like to snuggle, and you like to talk, and you like to get close, and you like to do things that convey a sense of intimacy. I think as a man, you like the same thing. I think that you may like just the act of sex, but you're also open to that softer side of yourself. And also, once again, it's not just about you. It's about somebody else you're with, and that you enjoy the closeness and the intimacy that comes with touching and hugging and laughing and all that kind of stuff.
Will your partner talk to you about this issue? If not, that is a big problem.
I think it is a big problem. We all go through periods. I have a friend that said, you know, when you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. And sometimes we just don't feel like it. That is not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
What I'm talking about is an ongoing issue where you want something and your partner doesn't. Whether that's you're a man and you want something from your partner and she doesn't, or you're a woman and you want something from your partner and he's not interested in the same things you're interested in. If this is an ongoing issue, if this is something that has been in your relationship for a long time, that you have addressed on various occasions, but at some point your partner has decided he does not want to talk to you about it, there is a big problem there. There's a big problem on many, many different issues, which means, what is he doing?
Right.
You know,
Okay.
That's what I'd like to know.
Weight gain is not a reason to stop having sex.
How many times do we get phone calls on that? I mean, this is not just once or twice. Again and again. Why is your husband not interested? Well, he said I gained weight. I said, has he gained weight? Yes. How much have you gained? 10 pounds. I mean, weight gain is not an issue.
No.
You know, and how we look. Yes, I understand. Sometimes we're more attractive than others. You know, if you've let yourself go to a point where you don't feel good about yourself, that's one thing.
Right.
But 5, 10, 15 pounds is not a reason for someone to not want to have sex with you. I'm sorry.
If you're not showering or brushing your teeth, there's a reason maybe why they might not want to have sex. But if you're
yes, no.
Ask yourself, how long are you going to stay in a relationship where you are sexually rejected by your mate?
Well, I don't think there is anything lonelier than lying next to someone in bed at night, reaching out and not having someone respond to you. It's one thing if you're in bed alone, you look over, nobody's there, it's the cat, you're like, I understand. But to have somebody that you really want to touch, you really want to get close to, lying next to you, and to night after night have someone turn their back to you or not be interested, I would imagine that that would be very painful.
It would be. And we are going to come back with some emails from our viewers, and Chandra will answer some of their concerns. We'll be right back. With life coach and author Chandra Alexander, and we are talking about dealing with a sexless relationship. And we have some emails that we are going to have you address now. The first one, it says, Dear Chandra, I am in a sexless marriage ever since we had our first child 5 years ago. Now we have 2. Since that time, my husband has called me mother, what his father called his mother, and the sex has stopped. What's going on? That's from Samantha in Clearwater. Chandra?
Well, I don't know about you, but I certainly wouldn't want to be called mother.
By your spouse or your...
By my love relationship. Have you ever heard, and I'm not saying this is necessarily the case, but we have issues of something called the Madonna whore complex. I don't know if you've ever heard about that.
I have, yes.
Sometimes a woman is extremely attractive to a man. He's very turned on to her before they have children together, and then after that somehow she becomes a mother. She loses that sexual quality to a man. I think that this needs to be addressed. I think that Samantha needs to tell her guy, you know what, I don't call you dad, and I would appreciate it if you would not call me mother. My name is Samantha, my name is honey, my name is sexy, my name is sweetie, my name is anything but mother.
To you.
To you. And this is something that needs to be dealt with, because this is very, very hurtful behavior when this happens in a relationship.
Okay, so verbalize that. All right, next up we have, Dear Chandra, when I ask my husband about having sex, which we no longer have, he tells me we have been together a long time and not to make a big deal about it. Well, we have been together 3 years. The other night I woke up and found him at 2 a.m. looking at porn on the computer. I think we have a big problem, but he will not discuss it with me. I need advice. Thanks, from Carrie in Sarasota. Okay.
It is a big problem.
And it's a common problem.
It's a big problem and it's a common problem, and we have 2 issues here. And I think one takes precedent over the other. Is this really a question about sex? Well, only by default. I'm sure there are other things he's not doing as well, other than not having sex with his wife. He has an addiction. It sounds like there may very well be a porn addiction. This is someone who has written to me several times and has caught her husband on several different occasions. So if you get up in the middle of the night and you find your husband on the computer looking at porn, I would think that there would be an issue there. Now, what addictions are about, whether it's gambling, whether it's alcohol, whether it's drugs, whether it's porn, all addictions are about not feeling. What happens is you would think that somebody looking on porn would actually be getting sexually titillated and turned on. It's almost not like that. The people that I've worked with tell me it's almost like they go into another zone. They become anesthetized. Something just gets totally shut down. So if the relationship is not solid, if they're not communicating, if there's not an openness there, when this man lays down to go to sleep with his wife and doesn't feel connected there, rather than deal with those feelings, he'll get up.
Get online.
And get online. And it seems like, well, I guess I'm all right because I'm sexual and I guess there's nothing wrong with me. But this is not about being sexual. This is about having an addiction. And that person needs to deal with that. That needs to be addressed. And that needs to not be allowed. That's very, very different than looking at Playboy or Hustler or a little pornography here and there. I'm not coming from a moralistic point of view. I'm coming from a health point of view.
Okay, and we don't have time for any more emails, I'm afraid, but you made, and I've heard both what those emails had to say. I've heard it from a lot of people, so again, you have to talk about it, and it's not your problem, it's their problem,
well,
right?
the truth is, yes, if someone has an addiction, it's their problem. But the truth is, if you're in that relationship, it does become your problem. And it becomes your problem in terms of you being brutally honest with yourself and not trashionalizing.
Okay.
There you go.
If you are interested in Chandra's books, her CD